What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Branded Dude here. I realized that I did not in the last week make a video regarding the ban list, but decided now is the time to get this video out. So yeah guys, last week we had the new ban list drop, which is already effective. So I must say that with the recent ban list that came out, Branded is actually kind of in a good spot. Now, as we all know, quite a bit of cards that get banned. A lot of cards actually got semi-limited, but I don't think it's gonna make any drastic changes. And honestly, with those changes made, Branded sort of has a much, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just easier for Branded now to actually compete against the meta. I'm not saying they was having trouble, but some cards out there were just absolutely a menace to deal with. So obviously now, in terms of cards that got banned, I'm not going to go over every card. In all honesty, we're just going to talk about the specific cards that actually had a role in the meta. So obviously, in terms of the banned cards, we had Abyss Dweller that was banned, as well as Nightmare Griffin. So these two cards getting banned, honestly, it's amazing. Abyss Dweller especially. The fact that Rise players would bring out Abyss Dweller, and honestly, depending on what deck list you as a Branded player, as well as for any other deck you're playing, but Abyss Dweller being banned honestly is huge. No more Graveyard being shut off, and Griffin, no floodgates on the field. Honestly, having to deal with Griffin was a bit of a pain, but sometimes if you've seen some of my videos, we did manage to find a way, hopefully. If not, yeah, well, Griffin was also just quite a pain to deal with, but Abyss Dweller being banned is absolutely huge. Grass is gonna go huge, guys. Honestly, I was seeing Abyss Dweller get banned. I was just thinking in my head, it's time to go back to 60 card Grass Branded. Honestly, that was my first thought there. But Abyss Dweller getting banned and Griffin getting banned, pretty good. No annoying floodgates to deal with. Malice loses Griffin, and Abyss Dweller is out of the Raijo deck list. Obviously, we all know Raijo Detonator also got hit, being limited to 1. So this is something that could actually be quite good for us, because if we're able to get Detonator into the grave and banish it without Bestials, there's no way Raijo players are going to bounce back from that, unless they maybe start running Branded Regained, just to shuffle this back. I don't know, maybe they want to, maybe not, but honestly, Detonator being hit to 1, it's pretty good. So we don't need to worry too much. Obviously, it depends on, I don't know what other rank 4 bodies they will be replacing, Abyss Dweller and the other copy of Detonator now, but getting rid of Detonator honestly will put us in a good position when going up against Raijo. Another card we must mention is Shifter being hit to 1. Absolutely amazing. No more nonsense of all our cards getting banished. So honestly, Shifter to 1, absolutely amazing. We also have the sword, the Raijo names all being limited to 2, which is not a massive hit, because I think also to mention Bonfire as well being hit to 1. Sure, there are less names in the deck, less searches, but because of the new which one is it, Maze, where they got the 7th Tachyon, they still have a good number of searches there, but consistency is a little low. But also they don't have that many names as well to go spamming and keep playing. So yeah, maybe we could outgrind a Raijo deck, honestly. So these Raijo names being hit is something that's going to decrease Raijo's consistency. When it comes to Malice, you just have Dormouse, White Rabbit, and the Fieldspell being limited to 2 each. So yeah, could be the same case with Malice, reduced consistency. And also the fact that these also got limited, as well as Jerusalem. Jerusalem was being played, I think, at 2 copies at least in Malice. Jerusalem being hit to 1, that means there's less Bestials that are going to go around, unless players start increasing the count of Serenia to 3 or even Boldrake to 3. They could do that as well. But honestly, the consistency for Raijo and Malice has been dropped a little bit. So, they're going to have to make use of other options. Maybe the consistency is going to be quite evident, when you go up against them in the new format. Obviously, till Alliance Insight comes out, who knows? Because they are getting more new support there, a new main deck monster as well, which kind of allows them to put another body on the field. So yeah, honestly, until Alliance Insight comes out, the consistency is a bit low for Raijo as well as Malice. Another talk we should I mean, another card that got limited is also Talents and Crossouts. Honestly, Talents being hit to 1 is pretty good, because honestly, when you tried all your hand traps to try stop your Raijio players combos and Malice players combos, and then they just rip a card out of your hand, that was a bit painful. But Talents being hit to 1 is unfortunate as well, because honestly, Talent is a really good card, but being hit to 1, cool. So now honestly, hand traps are going to go so hard this new format. So well as Crossout being to 1, that is quite a shame. Honestly, even though Crossout, I really did not see a lot of Crossout being played in this recent formats, but I guess, yeah, well, it's going to 1, so now hand traps are going to be a thing. So honestly, that is something we're going to have to talk about now with this new format. Another thing we saw is that White Dragon, Wyver Buster, and Black Dragon Collapse Serpent got pushed up to semi-limited. So honestly, this, who knows, maybe Dragon Link will make a comeback here. But also, there have been talks about Malice making use of these cards, just to be able to summon themselves. But we all know that Malice is mainly a dark deck, so Black Dragon's going to have a bit of a trouble being able to summon itself. But I don't know, that's just speculation. I don't know if this is actually going to be a thing that's going to happen, but whatever the case is, these were the most important hits on the ban list that dropped last week. So honestly, with this ban list, we all know that consistency for Malice and Raijio is just a little bit less for now, until post Alliance. Inside, Talents and Crossout being hit to 1 means that hand traps are going to be much more impactful against every single deck, especially for branded. Hand traps is actually a pain to deal with. Abyss Dweller being hit, as well as Griffin, that means we don't have to deal with these annoying floodgates. So obviously, depending on your branded build, if you want to go 60, you can go 60. If you don't like it, you want to keep it between 40 and 50, that's totally cool as well. But honestly, with these hits, it means one thing, that we're going to have to be careful of hand traps a lot more. Hand traps are going to be a lot more impactful, because one, we can't play more. Sure, I don't know what builds you guys are on, but some builds they only play 1 talents, maybe 2, maybe 3. But seeing maybe if you're playing crossouts as well, being able to play through hand traps is going to be a little more difficult for us to do. And honestly, it's also at the case where we as branded players might have a little bit more advantage when it comes to the grind game, because branded, we can recycle most of our fusions and all our other cards. So honestly, the grind game is something we are good at, but depends on your matchup. So this is something where if you're going to play around hand traps, we're going to need to make sure that we have cards that actually help us to extend a little bit more. Honestly, I'm pretty sure every brand player, when they make their build, they're trying to find as many cards that helps bring out more extenders for us. But hand traps as well, I don't know, maybe branded players could stop playing hand traps as well, because now you don't need to worry so much about being hit with talents or even crossouts, just negating your hand traps. Maybe it's a chance where you could increase the number of hand traps in your build as well, because most of the time most branded players are just playing Furlos as a hand trap, maybe a little bit more like a Nibiru, Ash, and as well as an Impim and Veilers, depending on the player you are. But I think if you're going to play branded and you want to put hand traps, I think it would be a good idea now, because you're not going to lose hard to talent. Sure, maybe Thrust could help your opponent get a search or get a set, but honestly, hand traps in branded might be a good idea. As I said already, Grass would be a good option to play as well, depending if you like to play the 60 card build, or if you're just keen on playing Grass. Honestly, good. Bestials now, I think, would be a good time to actually increase their counts in your deck, because one, remember guys, Detonator is hit to 1, so banishing this could put us in a good position against Raijio. Against Malice, we all know Malice is not, there's nothing drastic that's been changed, no hits on the extra deck per se, but honestly, Bestials, Bestials are just really good against, just DD crying whatever dark monsters are in the grave. Also, we need to remember that Link Decoder as well has been hit, has been banned. So they don't have that free body that's going to come out. A lot of players, they have been switching this up for, I think it's a Link Kuribo, the one that negates a trap. That Link one that negates a trap. They have been playing that instead. But the whole point is that this is no longer just a free body that gets summoned on the field. So they're going to have, Malice is going to struggle putting bodies on the field. It's not gonna be very difficult, but you're going to notice that they're going to have to commit a lot more to putting bodies on the field. So they most probably will increase their bestial counts as well. Maybe they will put in the White Dragon and Black Dragon as well. But honestly, Grass is good to play bestials. Yeah, you could play bestials just to hit targets for White Dragon, Black Dragon, or anything else, just so that Malice doesn't get polished on the field. Tear Elements, yeah, Tear Elements is just here because if you're going to play grass, you don't need to worry about Abyss Dweller. Now, another thing I was considering is maybe Kashtira could make a appearance in branded deck list just as an engine. Specifically Unicorn, you want to rip out the detonator from your opponent's extra deck if you're going first somehow, or just being able to break your opponent's board with Fenrir and also rip your opponent's extra deck with Unicorns. Honestly, there have been some talks. Some of you guys have also asked about maybe including the Kashtira engine in branded. Honestly, it might be good. The only issue is Kashtira engine doesn't really offer much as fusion materials because none of them are light or dark. And also with just a fusion deck, so you're not going to see any Link Summon or Synchros, none of that. Honestly, there will be cards that take up space on your field. So honestly, yeah, if you want to play that, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to play Kashtira in your branded deck list. But honestly, depends on what you want this format. Do you want to play more hand traps because now you're not going to lose hard to talents or get negated easier by crossouts, or if you just want to stick to board breakers and maybe play other engines, maybe a Kashtira engine could be there. Maybe if you're someone who's cooking some Fiendsmith branded synchro stuff in there, you never know, maybe that's something you could do. But yeah guys, I just wanted to give my thoughts on the ban list here, so there's not much to say. It's not going to be a long video. I am going to show a slight replay I had a game I had a few days ago where we went up against Blue Eyes. Unfortunately, it's not going to be a full match, but I think with this new format, Blue Eyes will still be quite a very strong deck now. Much stronger, because Raijo and Malice did get slightly hit in terms of consistency. So Blue Eyes is still going to be quite a troublesome deck that we're going to have to deal with in this meta. So I just wanted to show you this replay I had. Honestly, I think it would be a good replay just to show you guys. But yeah guys, this is my thoughts on the recent ban list that has dropped, and honestly I think branded is in a good position. We'll be able to just I think our ceiling will be a little bit higher because now we don't need to deal with too many floodgates. But hand traps are going to be going crazy, honestly. So it's going to be quite a interesting take on maybe where the branded builds will change quite a bit, or maybe they'll stay the same and branded can still do good as it has been recently. Branded has topped a regional, it has topped a YCS. But yeah, honestly guys, so yeah, that was my take on it. So let's just hop straight into that Blue Eyes replay. So guys, here's the replay. You can see opening hands. I decided to play grass again in my 60 card build, so I will show you the new build that I'm playing here as well. So 60 card playing grass, there has been a slight change to it, not my original grass build that I used to play some weeks ago, or I guess a month ago. So yeah, I'm going to show the deck list, but I decided, I'm going to try grass now because Abyss Dweller is no longer there. I haven't gone up against Raijo or Malice yet at the moment. I'm still climbing up, on DB, trying to get myself higher up in terms of ranking. So hopefully we can get Malice and Raijo games. But yeah, we are going up against Blue Eyes, really strong deck. Honestly, this deck has quite high consistency and it can just play so many hand traps, which can be quite detrimental to us when we try to combo. But yeah, let's see how we do. So in opening hands, we open opening Aluber, Lost, Thrust, as well as Tragedy. Opponent opens the Primate Dragon, True Light, Sage, Primate, Lordly Load, and Effect Veiler. So here I believe my Blue Eyes player is going first. So sorry for that, we are cut. Anyways, moving on, he summons the Primate, setting the Primate Drawbeam because he already has Lordly Load in hand. He's then going to link off into Spirit, which is going to trigger to get the Field Spell. You've most probably all seen the usual Blue Eyes combo. So he's going to additional no summon Sage, search for Maiden. Maiden effect will set the True Light from his hand, which it does set from... You can place one, from your hand, deck, or grave. Honestly, crazy that Maiden allows them to set from hand, place from hand as well. True Light Effector will set the wishes for Eyes of Blue. Activates Lowly Load to add a Primate Dragon, just so he has an extra discard for wishes. Then gonna go Mausoleum, target the Spirit to Foolish Burial of Blue Eyes. Activate wishes, discard Ether. Add Majesty of the White Dragons as well as Effect Veiler. So here I knew, okay, he has a pop and he has one Effect Veiler, which we saw him actually add. So I knew, okay, one Effect Veiler in hand we have to deal with. Spirit Effect, Reborn Blue Eyes from Grave, which will trigger Maiden to summon. And then here's going to go Wishes just to equip the Neo's ultimate, just so that, you know, they have the target protection engraved. Synchro off into Blue Eye Spirit Dragon. And then he's going to go Primite Continuous to summon the second copy of Blue Eyes from deck. And this will give him another... Oh, actually, no, I thought he was going to go Synchro here, but instead he links off into Spirit and then links off into Hieratic Seal. So sets the trap, goes to end phase, and passes. So here we're going to have to deal with Seals, Spirits, which will go into Ultimate Spirit, which is basically an Omni Negate on the field. We know he has one Veiler in his hand, which we only saw him add. The second card, I wasn't sure. Maybe I didn't expect it to be another hand trap. If it was, I wasn't expecting it to be another Veiler, to be honest. But we do know he has Majesty, which can pop 2, and he has Primite Beam, which can negate and banish. So yeah, those are the interruptions we're going to have to deal with, which is quite a lot, honestly, with 2 Veilers in his hand. Obviously, I only knew he has 1, but 2 Veilers in his hand is quite tough to deal with. So, pause this turn, we draw for turn, we draw into Ecclesia. So yes, I am main decking Incredible Ecclesia, just so that we have that free special summon. However, in the draw phase, nothing from us, so our opponent takes the chance. He activates True Light to reborn Blue Eyes, so now Drill Beam is active. And then this will trigger Maiden just to put an extra body on the field. So I don't activate Opening in the main phase, because the reason why is that I know my opponent has an Effect Veiler in his hand. So I decide, you know what, we have a Luber in our hand, which is going to take up our normal summon. So may as well bait out that one Effect Veiler in my opponent's hand. So I go straight to main phase and I activate Thrust first, because he did activate monster effect. So here first I search for Grasp, because one, we're going to have to deal with Drill Beam, and we're going to have to deal with Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit, which is going to negate our Brand Fusion, one of those two. So we may as well have another backup in a way. So the only issue is Drill Beam negates the effect only and banishes the card. Neo's Blue Eyes Ultimate does negate the activation. So it's obviously going to depend on what my opponent uses Primate Drill Beam on. So we search for Grasp just so it's there. But before we activate that, I decide I'm going to first try, you know, bait out the Effect Veiler negates here, but on res my opponent is going to use Spirit to go into Ultimate Spirit Dragon, which here says it does negate the activation. Yeah, negates activation. Cool. Moving on. The other option is, remember guys, I am main decking Albelenitus, so my play was force out all the interruptions if I can, and then special summon Ecclesia effect summon Albaz. So that's what you're trying to do, but we need to deal with Hieratic Seal as well. So starts off with the opening where we discard Tragedy and I summon Quem. Now here I went Chainlink 1 Quem, and now with Tragedy I wasn't sure if I should use Tragedy. Just rather not use it, so that if any branded spell or trap like Lost or Fusion ends up going to the grave, we can just banish Tragedy, reset it. You know, I was thinking of doing that, but I knew for a fact my opponent is not going to allow me to keep these cards on the field. So I decided, okay, you know what, let's use Tragedy, so that we get that our opponent knows we're adding a copy of a Luber to our hand, and who knows, maybe our opponent will realize, okay, cool, he still has another way to search for Branded Fusion. So Chainlink Theory will be Effect Veiler, negating Quem. So we got rid of the one Effect Veiler which I believe my opponent only had in his hand. So we searched for a Luber, which is also good, even though we did this thought of using Tragedy's Graveyard effect to reset. I decided, you know what, we may as well use the effect to search, because we're going to need to have a card in our hand to discard down the line. So we search for a Luber, normal summon the Luber, and then here opponent allows this to resolve, because he has 2 negates. He has ultimate and he has Drill Beam, so he doesn't need to worry about us adding Brand of Fusion to our hands. Now because my opponent didn't negate a Luber with this, I didn't realize, okay, I didn't even think this card was an effect value, because I thought he was just confident that he had 2 negates here, so he didn't have anything to worry about. So here on resolution I decide to enter battle phase, because we need to deal with Hieratic Seal. So enter battle phase, declare an attack. Opponent changes Hieratic Seal. Here he is going to bounce the Primite Lowly Load to his hand. Cool. On resolution my opponent didn't trigger Hieratic Seal. I'm not sure why. Maybe he didn't have another dragon he wanted to search. I think maybe they want to search another barrel from his deck, or a Magnemite. I don't know if he was playing Bestials, but he didn't use Seal's effect when tributed. So we go to main phase 2, activate Lost. To this my opponent activates Majesty, popping my Lost as well as the Quem on the field. Totally fine. Now we need to deal with Drill Beam as well as Neo's ultimate. Sorry, Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit. We activate Grass, to which our opponent is going to chain, unfortunately, Ultimate to Grass. So he's saving the Jewel Beam for Branded Fusion. So here we just use Branded Fusion, get it out of the way. So here now we special summon Ecclesia effect here, summon Albaz. Albaz effect here. I thought Albaz was finally going to resolve uninterrupted, but opponent drops the effect Veiler, and that's when I realized, crap, he had one more Veiler in his hand, but all good. So we just contact Fuse, go to Alba Lenitus. So now Neil's ultimate is not going to get destroyed, which will trigger its effect to just special summon another light dragon from grave in the end phase. So we go into Alba Lenitus, but unfortunately that is all we can do, so we pass turn. So unfortunately we managed to play through, you know, we didn't like scoop, we managed to do something through all those interruptions, but our opponent still has enough follow up on his field. So draw phase, he draws into Malchami Forlos. Still in draw phase, he's going to go True Light, summon Blue Eyes. He doesn't go to standby phase to add Barrel to his hand from grave in the standby phase. So moving on, doesn't matter. Main phase, activate Primate to search for a Barrel, which is going to normal summon. Yeah, obviously he's going to normal summon Barrel. Effectual, it will set another primary lonely load. Then Drill Beam will reset itself, so he has that negates again. Here he's going to Synchro off, going to Spirit Dragon. He's then going to go into battle phase, declare an attack. We take a bit of damage there. Opponent then goes Primate to Lowly Load, Reborn a Blue Eyes. And here he just simply passes turn. So yeah, both Spirit Dragons are now out of the extra deck. So he still has the Blue Eye Spirits, and he also has Primate Draw Beam. So we draw for turn, we draw Branded High Spirits, which is a bit unfortunate. So we decide to enter the battle phase. We attack Barrel, which our opponent will allow to resolve. So Barrel is going to be destroyed. Opponent takes a bit of damage. We then try to declare an attack with Alba Lenitus again on Blue Eye Spirit, to which our opponent will change Spirit to tag out, and then brings out the Stardust Cypher Divine Dragon. But here I decide, okay, listen, if we pass turn, he has a 4,000 attack monster, as well as 3,000. He just needs to go True Light, Reborn of Blue Eyes, which will trigger Maiden to summon, and then during his turn, you know, he can maybe Synchro off. But the whole point is he will be able to use True Light again if he decides to Synchro to put enough bodies on the field. He can go Primate, banish this, clear field, and honestly that will be game. So yeah, he goes Primate Draw Beam in the end phase instead, banishes Alba Lenitus, draws for turn Nibiru, True Light, here will reborn the Blue Eyes, and then trigger Maiden. So yeah, he has enough bodies on the field, honestly, well over 8,000 now. Yep, well over 8,000. So yeah, there we scoop, but unfortunately my opponent he didn't come back for game number 2. So that's pretty much all I had there. So yeah guys, I just wanted to show you this replay, because honestly it was quite a ride for us to have to try play through all those negates, honestly. But yeah, honestly I thought it was pretty fun, even though we lost game number 1. And it was quite fun to have to navigate through all those interruptions. So yeah guys, let's just hop onto the deck list that I am running right now. So guys, this is the deck list that I am running right now. The only few changes from my recent, like, you know 60 card grass, is that I'm playing only one Telement name this time. There is no Shadow Beast. I am playing now Golden Sword Soul, Ecclesia, and another copy of Quim as well. Yeah, no, the bestial count is just 1 Druids, 1 Mag, 3 Sarnias, 3 Lubellians, 3 Albions are shrouded, just so that it's there. Honestly, I wanted to increase the monster counts as well in my deck list. Don't want to play too many spells, but yeah, Ecclesia is there, Golden Sword Soul is there as well, 1 Telement name. We are playing 2 High Spirits, not 3, 2 Branded Reds, and in terms of board breakers and interruptions, there's just Droplets and Super Poly only, no Eclipse. Decided not to put Eclipse. I decided to also put 1 extra Retribution. Honestly, I know OCG, they are playing 2 Retributions. I decided to do it because there were some cases where even if I used the first copy of Retribution in the grave to, add, having that second one was something that always ended up having to come out like crap. If I had a second one, I could have added this and, would have changed the game. So I decided to play 2. And honestly, I think in this format, we're going to be running through our Albaz Fusion monsters a lot quicker. So playing 2, being able to like recycle stuff might come up as well. So yeah, playing 2 Retributions, and yeah, 3 Thrust, 1 Talent. Obviously, in terms of the side deck, nothing has changed. The only difference is I am playing 3 Chaos Hunters now. We are playing 3 back row spells and traps removal, 1 Sanctum, 1 Daruma Cannon, 1 different dimension ground, and 2 D barriers, just 2, so we have another thrust target. But I decided to add in Daruma Cannon. I don't want to play Eclipse anymore because I don't want to give my opponents draws off the spell. So I decided, okay, let's play Daruma Cannon as a way to, you know, flip our monsters face down. I was thinking of playing Daruma Cannon in the main deck as well, in place of what's the word, Eclipse. You know, sure, it might have been done, but you know, I decided, okay, we're gonna put a Daruma Cannon in the side deck, so that's what I decided to put in side deck. Main deck, I mean extra deck, we know Crazy changed. The only difference is I took out Chimera and I kept in Barrel of Furious and obviously Chaos Stasis today. Barrel of Furious because Barrel of Furious is a quick effect each turn, so we'll be able to pop a card every single turn. So that's why I took Chimera out for that. I am playing Albion Sanctified Dragon as well, just so that they're honestly being able to reborn, because I am playing Furious, which is a quick effect, and also the, you know, whatever other fusions I want to summon. But having Sanctified, being able to reborn Furious from grave, I thought let's add in Sanctified just for that. But yeah, took out Chimera because we have Chaos Stasis and we also have Barrel of Furious. Barrel of Furious much easier for us to make, honestly, either with branded in white, branded in red as well. But yeah, also with Cartesia, depending if we have the right fusion materials in our hand and field. But yeah, this is the deck list I decided to run, so this is what I'll be running for the next, you know, guess weeks and I guess a month, but until changes are made. So yeah guys, this is what I wanted to show you, and this is what I decided to do for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts on the ban list, and you know, anything you had to say or any input you would like to add. Honestly, it will all be we'll be happy to hear it. But yeah guys, thank you for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Please do like, comment and subscribe. Cheers guys.